This story happened in my hometown many years ago. One year, a house burned down with valuable items incinerated by the flames. The villagers worked together to try and extinguish the fire, but unfortunately it was too late. The house that burned down belonged to a widow named Ling. The older woman lived alone and had a strange habit of talking to herself too much. After extinguishing the fire, the older woman was found burned to death in her house. There was a strong smell of burn everywhere. Everything was burned to ashes. But there was a strange thing: people did not find any signs of the fire at the corner of the house. The villagers came and saw a tablet on the table, but it was unclear what was written on it. Although the worship table had been burned to coal, that tablet was still intact, and the fire did not reach. There was a dead person in the house plus the strangeness of the worship tablet, so the villagers were afraid to get each other out. After that, the villagers buried the widow's body properly, while the house was abandoned for a long time. A few years later, a drunk man from the village passed by the house in the middle of the night. The man was half awake, half dreaming, when he heard a woman calling to him. He looked around to find out that the voice was coming from the widow's abandoned house. Thinking someone was inside, he also went in without hesitation. Suddenly, there was a voice of the woman asking him to take her out and she would repay the favor. Although he couldn't see anyone, the man saw the worship tablet lying there. He had drunk a lot of alcohol that night, so he did not feel afraid when he knew that the worship tablet was talking to him. He picked up the tablet to look at it, and the voice inside the worship tablet came out again. The following day, while the man was sleeping, his wife woke him up with a morning song of scolding. The man woke up, bewildered, when he heard his wife ask about the worship tablet. He realized that he was holding a worship tablet in his hands. He didn't know how he brought it back, so he was surprised and scared. When he was about to throw it away, the worship tablet suddenly said,
"Don't throw me. I will make you rich."
The worship tablet also prophesied that there would be a severe drought the following year, telling the man to buy and save food and also sell it in the next year. After that, he would quickly become rich as long as he worshipped this tablet. Believing the worship tablet's words, the man began to look forward to next year's good fortune. Gritting his teeth to endure, the man borrowed money everywhere and hoarded a lot of food. He placed it at the solemn place in his house. The following year, indeed, the countryside experienced a severe drought, crop failure, and constant famine. The man quickly sold the food he had hoarded at many times the price and made a lot of money. He bought a few large tiled houses and lived a life of wealth that everyone admired. The tablet was also worshipped as a god, full of incense every day. One day the tablet prophesied again, telling him to bury all his possessions, hide all his money, and hide because tonight someone would come and try and arrest him. The man immediately followed suit, fleeing with the worship tablet. Yes, that night, some robbers indeed broke into his house, but after searching for him, they couldn't find anything of value. After a few days, he and his wife returned home, and although their belongings were destroyed, their money was not lost. He was extremely grateful for the tablet, worshipping it day and night. In the end, the tablet said it could only help him 3 times, and 2 times had already passed. It asked him if he had any last wishes. The man thought for a while, seeing that he had a house and money, only lack of a beautiful woman because he thought his wife was too ugly. So he begged the worship tablet for a beautiful wife. That very night, as he was sleeping next to his wife, she did not change. Well, nothing had changed. She was still the same. He began to get impatient. He wanted to meet his beautiful wife, so he struggled to fall asleep, occasionally also glancing over at his wife. Every hour that passed, his wife changed her skin and gradually turned into a beautiful young person. The only thing was a big scar on her neck, like a cut. But he ignored that, proudly taking his wife down the street every day to show her off to everyone. 2 years later, while shopping together, the husband and wife met an older man who insisted that the man's wife was the older man's daughter. The man's parents and the wife's parents had both passed away, so having a stranger approach like that made him extremely angry. After asking, he found out that the older man's daughter died 2 years ago. This man's wife had the same appearance as the older man's daughter, so he got it wrong. The two felt that the older man was pitiful, so they later accepted the old man and wife as their parents took care of them. The following year, the man's wife gave birth to a fat baby boy, making everyone in the family happy. It was just that, well, the worship tablet never spoke again. The man didn't ask for anything either, but still regularly burned incense and prayed every day as a way to repay the favor.